What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the truth behind the 25 legendary Pokemon coming to the Indigo Disk DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There has been a lot of back and forth between the Riddler and some data miners, and I think we can finally stumble upon the truth of the matter and what is actually going on here. And of course, guys, like this type of content, enjoy these videos. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam by hitting that join channel member button below. Starting at the beginning, Riddler Coup posted this image saying, hey, these are the 25 Pokemon coming to the Indigo Disk DLC for the legendaries that we could potentially shiny hunt, right? And honestly, a lot of people weren't happy with this list because it was only 25 Pokemon, but some other users on the internet, data miners, were not happy about this because there was no way to actually verify this information was true, because apparently this was supposedly found from a data mine. So Riddler Coup went through in his big back and forth over here with the user Anubis here. And Anubis is a very popular data miner in the Pokemon community. They've been doing a lot of great work, and I have featured them in my videos in the past, right? So they had this big debate, a lot of back and forth, and pretty much Riddler Coup saying, hey, we didn't actually find this information ourselves. This came from the Uncle Riddler on Chinese media, but we trust them. And Anubis was like, okay, I have no beef with you per se, but I just want to know where this information is actually coming from, because Anubis is very familiar with the information here. Now, present day, where are we now with this? Well, Anubis made a thread, and I felt like, because I reported on this so much, I felt like it was very important to give Anubis some time in this video just to see what we're actually dealing with about the truth behind the 25 legendaries in the Indigo Disk DLC. So Anubis begins this long thread and says the current claims are that they are static encounters and that they can be shiny. This is allegedly data mined. I'll go over what I do know, and you can decide what conclusions are fair. Now, here is the backstory. First, the TOMAS DLC patch version 2.0.1 added entries for both parts of the DLC. Indigo Disk content was removed, leaving only a blank stub. And they didn't do as rigorously with Sword and Shield DLC as they did for SV. Here's an example of stub English move names in SV. So you can see in this image here that they left the moves, the new moves, Ivy Cudgel, Syrup Bomb, but you can see that there are more new moves coming to the Indigo Disk from 905 to 919. We don't know what those moves are yet, but there is data that there are new moves coming, and we know how many more moves are coming, but we don't know the exact names of these moves or what they do or anything like that. So that's what Anubis is pretty much saying, that there is a lot of things that we can make educated guesses on, but not necessarily know for a fact. Now, in our next tweet, which was the ABC Boy tweet, so we talked about this in a previous video, what Anubis is talking about here, and this is how we were able to guess the Indigo Disk names for Pokemon that we don't have their full names on, like the Paragots Entei and Terrakion. We don't know their names in the Dipplin evolution, but using this method here, we were able to figure it out. So Anubis says, a lot of the leaks that circulate are from people looking at stubbed entries for hints in making educated guesses at what was removed. You may have seen ABC Boy's guessing game for Pokemon names based on the gaps in the Pokemon's name sorting list. ABC Boy's observation is really interesting. There are additional sorting lists for moves, abilities, and items, and these lists are in lexicographic order and are presumably used for sorting your bag, sorting the Pokedex, and or searching your boxes. So you can see the images here. You know how you just go through the Pokedex. It's like, okay, I can put it from ABC or biggest to smallest, things like that. So this is where the Chinese Riddler comes in. Anubis says, by knowing what comes before and after a blank slot, it is possible to guess at what those Pokemon names will be. I first saw this shared on Chinese forum that they have found items that were related to a certain legendary Pokemon. So this is the original leak. This is not from Riddler Coup. This is from the Uncle Riddler, the Chinese Riddler on Chinese social media. And Riddler Coup was the one who reported this information to us. How does this work? New items for DLC 2 uses IDs 2482 to 2557. The Japanese, Korean, and Chinese item sort lists new items among the old. Spanish has one item sorted. All other languages put the new items at the top. Item 2522 falls between words that would fit the name for Articuno in 3 languages. So this is how we see potentially Articuno's name in other languages, which also makes sense how this person on Chinese social media was able to actually see this, because it's like, okay, you translate that name and it comes out to be Articuno in Chinese. That makes a lot of sense how the Uncle Riddler could think this could be the logical conclusion of those 25 legendary Pokemon. Similarly, you can identify other items that would fit for the other legendary Pokemon. Some of them fall right before LGPE candy for that Pokemon. So yes, it's plausible that people looked at where the blanks fell and concluded that they are items referencing legendary Pokemon. So when you look at the item in Chinese, it says frozen birds candy when you translate it from Chinese to English. So we're also seeing candy for these Pokemon as well, which is really interesting too. Do these items represent encounters or whether they can be shiny? Since these are blanks in lists of item names, it is not possible to conclude the full name of the item, what kind of item it is, and definitely not anything about shiny rates. You would need other information. So pretty much this confirms, yes, these Pokemon are in the code, but we don't know how we're going to encounter them. We don't know if we can even encounter them. We don't know if that code is even going to be necessarily used. There's always cut content. There's always a leftover code. So we don't know for sure. And we also don't know we can shiny hunt them within the game. We're going to hope we can, looking at the Sword and Shield DLC and how that ended. We're going to hope we get a Dynamax Adventures. We're going to have hope at least something like BDSP, where we're able to encounter legendary Pokemon the post game and shiny hunt them. We're going to hope that is, but we have no firm 100% confirmation that will be the post game content for the Indigo Disk until we hear some official information or we actually get a true data mine when we get closer to the game's release. Now, Anubis says, TBH, we should hope they are not static encounters. The community calls a lot of things static encounters when they aren't, so it says fixed symbol encounters. Every single static encounter / GIF in the game is currently shiny locked, except for GIF Munchlax. So yes, we don't want static encounters. We do want a dynamic encounter, either one that you can soft reset and enter and keep doing, or one that's like a raid where you can enter it, beat the raid, and then redo the raid and just hope you can get the shiny eventually. Something like that would be a lot better than just having the legendaries and then not being able to shiny hunt them at all. I think that would be the worst case scenario out of this whole thing. If you know where anyone found evidence of these being static encounters that can be shiny in game files, please let me know. I would love to show that hard evidence to the community. Otherwise, it is very easy to throw terms around or make guesses based on prior games. If you want to see where other new items sort, I've arranged them in this spreadsheet here with some additional information on where the data came from and how it was processed. You can download the full parse list under full text dump. So Anubis does show their work, which I do really appreciate. You know, they're not throwing stones from a glass house here. Like, they got their evidence, they're doing their work, and I really do appreciate that, you know, have that type of transparency within this community. And lastly, they say, I hope that this thread has helped you all to understand the process a little more, what is actually in the files and what parts are educated guesses. I don't speak any of the 3 languages where this info exists, so I'm interested in what fluent speakers conclude. So in short, we don't know what we are going to be getting at the end of the day here. We could be getting those 25 shiny legendaries potentially. Maybe we'll get the legendaries and not have them be shiny. Maybe they will be shiny and they're raid only. Maybe they'll be soft resetting encounters. We just don't know yet. And honestly, we just need a Pokemon trailer at the end of the day, because this is one thing that should be revealed in a trailer. Dynamax Adventures was shown off in a trailer for the DLC back in the day. So we should be getting a trailer soon, and I'm going to make a guess that we're going to probably get it this Monday. So tomorrow, I'm hoping we're going to get a trailer, because it's honestly the best day. We're 2 weeks away now from the Indigo Disk DLC dropping, and we need that hype train to start going in full force. Well, let me know in the comment section below what you're looking forward to the most in Indigo Disk. Personally, for me, if shiny hunting legendaries, especially in a raid setting, would be my personal dream. But of course, shiny hunting the entire shiny living dex is what I'm gonna be doing on this channel, so definitely stay tuned for more of that type of content. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.